What if everything you thought about wealth was only half the truth? What if true prosperity had nothing to do with the size of your bank account, but everything to do with something far more powerful? In this video, we uncover ancient wisdom from the wealthiest and wisest man in history, Solomon. He had riches beyond imagination, yet he understood a secret most people overlook: wealth without wisdom is meaningless. True financial success isn't just about making money, it's about aligning with divine principles that lead to abundance in every area of life. So, why do so many people chase money but still feel empty, and what's the real secret to lasting prosperity? Watch now to find out. The concept of prosperity is often equated with financial security and a comfortable material existence. However, when viewed through a biblical lens, particularly with Solomon's wisdom, we see that true wealth extends beyond material riches. According to Solomon, genuine prosperity is deeply rooted in principles of justice and wisdom, stemming from a sincere relationship with God. Financial success is a byproduct of this relationship, not the ultimate goal. For Solomon, peace does not come from wealth itself, but from understanding one's divine purpose. Many people dedicate their lives to securing jobs and accumulating material possessions, yet they still experience a sense of emptiness. This lingering dissatisfaction arises because wealth without purpose is like an unquenchable thirst. God teaches us that true financial stability does not originate from employment contracts, but from applying divine principles in our daily lives. In this way, prosperity becomes a living journey, expanding as we grasp eternal values. It is within this perspective of faith and spiritual security that we find true peace. Solomon urges us to redefine our view of wealth, not as an end goal but as a tool to fulfill divine purpose. When we think of wealth, money and material possessions often come to mind. However, biblical wisdom teaches that true wealth is deeper and more enduring. Solomon, with his vast understanding, explains that true riches consist of wisdom, justice, and purpose aligned with God's will. These are treasures that neither time nor circumstances can erode, giving true value to our lives and work. Financial wealth alone can become meaningless when detached from higher values. Many individuals amass great fortunes yet still feel lost and unfulfilled. God's intention for us is to pursue wealth that withstands time, one that nourishes the soul and inspires growth in others. Solomon reminds us that true riches, including wisdom and compassion, are transformative and align us with our divine purpose. Furthermore, his wisdom challenges us to recognize that wealth is not meant solely for personal gain but should be shared and multiplied for the benefit of others. When we embrace this truth, our perspective broadens, and we begin to see value in every small action and decision. Personal success then becomes part of a greater mission, where we contribute to others' lives and honor our Creator. This is the real source of wealth, one that reflects God's abundance. These teachings encourage us to evaluate where we place our hopes and investments. Wealth that comes from God is not subject to market fluctuations or job stability but is rooted in alignment with divine values. The next step is understanding how these values transform our perspective on money, allowing it to serve as a tool for purpose and growth rather than becoming an end in itself. A common misconception is that money is the root of all evil. So, why do so many people chase money but still feel empty, and what's the real secret to lasting prosperity? Watch now to find out. The concept of prosperity is often equated with financial security and a comfortable material existence. However, when viewed through a biblical lens, particularly with Solomon's wisdom, we see that true wealth extends beyond material riches. According to Solomon, genuine prosperity is deeply rooted in principles of justice and wisdom, stemming from a sincere relationship with God. Financial success is a byproduct of this relationship, not the ultimate goal. For Solomon, peace does not come from wealth itself, but from understanding one's divine purpose. Many people dedicate their lives to securing jobs and accumulating material possessions, yet they still experience a sense of emptiness. This lingering dissatisfaction arises because wealth without purpose is like an unquenchable thirst. God teaches us that true financial stability does not originate from employment contracts but from applying divine principles in our daily lives. In this way, prosperity becomes a living journey, expanding as we grasp eternal values. It is within this perspective of faith and spiritual security that we find true peace. Solomon urges us to redefine our view of wealth, not as an end goal but as a tool to fulfill divine purpose. To him, wealth without wisdom is a burden, whereas wealth accompanied by wisdom allows for a fulfilling life. Imagine making financial decisions not out of fear or unchecked ambition but with confidence in God's principles. This mindset liberates us from the pressure of merely accumulating riches and instead draws us closer to the blessing of truly living. This reflection challenges conventional ideas of stability, reminding us that true prosperity is not stored in bank accounts but cultivated within wise hearts and minds. The journey to understanding lasting wealth begins here. Solomon, in his wisdom, clarifies that money itself is not the problem, it is the place it occupies in our hearts that determines its impact. When money becomes our central focus, it leads to trouble. However, when viewed as a means rather than an end, it becomes a powerful resource. Another widely held belief is that spirituality necessitates poverty. Many assume that being faithful requires a life devoid of material possessions. Yet, biblical figures like Abraham, Job, and Solomon himself were blessed with wealth while maintaining deep relationships with God. The issue is not wealth itself, but how we use it and how it reflects our character and values. Understanding this principle frees us from judgment and allows for a balanced perspective. Solomon teaches that wealth can be a reflection of God's blessings when used to honor divine principles. The real question is, do we let money define us, or do we define its purpose? When used for good, money is a blessing. When it becomes our ultimate goal, it turns into a burden. The key lies in using financial resources with wisdom and discernment to fulfill a greater purpose and live a more generous and meaningful life. The importance of financial education from a biblical perspective. In the pursuit of prosperity, many overlook a crucial aspect: financial education. Solomon, known for his wisdom, emphasizes that understanding and managing resources are fundamental to achieving true prosperity. Proverbs urges us to seek wisdom and understanding above all, as they lay the foundation for lasting wealth. It is not merely about earning money but about managing it wisely and responsibly. Financial education is about aligning material resources with our values and responsibilities. Earning a high income is not enough. However, when we develop financial wisdom, we gain the freedom that comes with a well-structured life. The Bible encourages us to acquire knowledge, as it helps us avoid financial pitfalls that could divert us from the path of true prosperity. Imagine making every financial decision with clarity and wisdom, avoiding unnecessary debt and preparing for a stable future. This is the kind of financial education Solomon desires for us, one that enables growth while remaining rooted in divine principles. Understanding finances is not just a practical necessity. It is a spiritual responsibility that reflects our commitment to God. The entrepreneurial mindset and creating opportunities. Having an entrepreneurial mindset means looking beyond limitations and recognizing opportunities in every situation. Solomon, known for his wisdom and proactive approach, teaches that true financial independence comes from an active and creative attitude. It is not just about starting a business but adopting an entrepreneurial outlook in all aspects of life. It involves using our talents and gifts to create meaningful value that benefits both ourselves and others. This vision encourages us not to depend solely on one source of income but to embrace adaptability and innovation. Imagine the freedom of knowing that your financial well-being is not tied to a single job but to your ability to create and respond to changing circumstances. Solomon urges us to be diligent, drawing wisdom from the ant, which gathers provisions without relying on external direction. An entrepreneurial mindset also involves diversifying efforts and investing in projects with growth potential. Even small ventures, such as turning a hobby into extra income, align with this vision. Creativity and proactivity not only improve financial stability but also help build a life aligned with our values. The Bible affirms that God blesses the work of our hands, making entrepreneurship an act of faith. This perspective turns every opportunity into a stepping stone for growth. Crises and hardships are inevitable in life. Solomon teaches that these moments test our true strength. In Proverbs, he states that if we falter during adversity, our strength is weak. Difficulties challenge us, but also present opportunities for growth. By viewing crises as learning experiences, we develop resilience and discover new pathways to success. Many great leaders and entrepreneurs have found their breakthroughs in times of crisis, learning to reinvent themselves and adapt. Solomon encourages us to face obstacles with determination and faith, knowing that every challenge strengthens our ability to navigate future uncertainties. The Bible shows that God uses trials to refine our character and expand our faith. When we see adversity as a means of growth, we develop a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities. Each crisis, when met with faith and perseverance, becomes a stepping stone toward greater achievements. Solomon's wisdom invites us to persist, trust in divine guidance, and embrace a life of true prosperity. Don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening revelations and comment "I am prosperous" to claim this truth over your life. This could be the breakthrough you've been waiting for.